Today we learned billionaire CEO Elon Musk says he will donate to a new super PAC supporting former President Trump. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Musk has pledged to donate $45 million a month. Now, earlier this year, you may remember Musk vowed not to contribute to either Trump or Biden's campaign. Musk remains the only Fortune 100 CEO to fully endorse a candidate in this year's presidential race.
Private notion of children. Your kid is yours and totally your responsibility. We haven't had a very collective notion of these are our children. So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities. Once it's everybody's responsibility and not just the households, then we start making better investments.
More lunacy coming out of California. At this rate, everyone with half a brain will leave that insane state. The latest disaster, a new transgender bill that is a nightmare for parental rights. Check this out.
Has signed a bill that would ban school districts from notifying parents about a student's gender identity. That means school districts will have to remove policies that require parents to be informed if their child identifies as transgender. The passage of the bill comes after several districts across the state put similar notification policies in place without the student's consent. Staff can no longer be forced to disclose a student's sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression.
California's new transgender bill is a direct assault on parental rights. It allows the state to take children away from their parents if they don't affirm their child's gender identity. Yes, you heard that right. The state is giving itself more authority over your children than you. This is not just wrong, it's vile. This bill is essentially criminalizing parents who want to take a cautious approach to their child's gender identity. Imagine being a parent wanting to ensure your child is making the best decision for their future and then being labeled as unfit by the state. This kind of overreach is unprecedented and dangerous. It's not the government's job to dictate how parents raise their children. The implications of this bill is terrifying, to say the least. It puts parents in an impossible position. Either comply with the state's view on gender identity or risk losing your children. This isn't about protecting kids. It's about the state exerting control over families. It's about undermining the fundamental rights of parents to make decisions for their own children. Or one person in particular is rightfully sounding the alarm over this new law. Elon Musk, who's hinted at leaving California before, says it's the final straw. Elon said a couple of days ago that SpaceX will move its headquarters from California to Texas. He is completely done. The billionaire noted that he'd warned Newsom a year ago that laws of this nature would force families and companies to leave California to protect their children. Well, of course, they would. Newsom and company arrogantly think the state is better at taking care of your children than you are. To any sane person, that's upside down. If anything, the state should ban schools from keeping parents in the dark, and no company should want its employees, families, slammed this way. This final straw comes on top of a host of deranged mandates and policies, such as Cali's green agenda, which invites brownouts and bans gas-fueled cars by 2035, or it's soft on crime and other destructive progressive policies, letting lawbreakers go wild, drug abuse to become commonplace, and homeless encampments to take over neighborhoods, streets to be turned into outdoor bathrooms. And let's not mention California's high state tax rates and mandates like its minimum wage laws, all of which consistently land the state at the bottom as a place to do business. Texas, notably, has no personal or corporate income tax, reasonable business regulations, insane policies on crime, homelessness, and other quality of life issues. Good on Elon. The only question is, or the only question that I have is, what took him so long to come up with this conclusion?
One endorsement Donald Trump no longer has to court is that of Elon Musk. The owner of X, formerly Twitter, has pledged to donate to a super PAC that supports Donald Trump $45 million a month leading up to the election. So convinced is Elon Musk of the need for Donald Trump to come back that he's putting his own money out there for his election campaign. And one of the interesting things to follow too is how this is all playing out since the debate, where Joe Biden really struggled and it sparked this conversation among the Democrats of whether he should still be on the ticket. There's new polling out from YouGov, and this is from the days after the debate, but it shows some really interesting statistics. 89% of Joe Biden supporters say their minds are made up. 94% of Donald Trump supporters also say their minds are made up. But the difference here that I think is the most informative, 52% of Biden supporters are extremely enthusiastic, including 52% of Biden supporters are enthusiastic, 36% are extremely enthusiastic, 67% of Trump supporters are enthusiastic, 49% of whom are extremely enthusiastic. So Donald Trump is winning on those margins, and it's only 15% of Biden supporters that say they're not at all enthusiastic. Compare that to just 6% who say they're not at all enthusiastic. In a compulsory voting country, those statistics matter. That's the difference between someone bothering to go cast a ballot and someone sitting it out, and that could be the thing that changes the game in those key swing states.
That's huge. $45 million a month. Musk isn't just moving his companies, he's making a significant political move. Elon endorsed Trump shortly after the assassination attempt and pledged a staggering $45 million a month to a pro-Trump PAC. That's a huge financial commitment, and it goes to show just how serious he is, along with many others, about getting Trump back in the White House. He's really putting his money where his mouth is. And we recently found out that Elon Musk met with Donald Trump. Their planes landed on a tarmac and they had a meeting together. That was breaking news recently. It's very interesting. At the time, he said, I'm not going to be a big donor, and was still trying to stay out of it, but he really liked meeting with the guy. That's a lot different than what Joe Biden's done as well. He effectively banned Elon from the White House. I guess he hates the environment. Anyway, I think the assassination attempt was a final straw for Elon as well. And Elon's endorsement of Trump is a significant moment in the political landscape. It signals a major shift, with one of the world's most influential entrepreneurs throwing his weight behind a candidate who promises to restore sanity in order to America. Musk's move is also a message to other businesses or other business leaders and entrepreneurs. It's time to take a stand against the overreach of government and the erosion of personal freedoms. I really think we're going to see more and more people follow suit. I mean, we're already seeing it happen. And it's quite fascinating to see how the media's opinion of Elon Musk has changed over the years. Once hailed as a tech genius and environmental savior for his work with Tesla and SpaceX, the media loved Musk. He was a darling of the left, but everything changed when he bought Twitter and stood up for free speech. Musk's acquisition of Twitter marked a turning point, and this didn't sit well with the leftist media or establishment elites, so they turned on him, painting him as a villain for advocating for free speech and pushing back against censorship.
He's not just making an Instagram play. Tonight, what I think is maybe one of the most significant plays is Elon Musk. Elon Musk tonight announced that he will be giving $45 million a month to a newly formed super PAC. And that's just cash. But think about, you have the man who controls formerly Twitter, now X, going out there saying, I'm openly supporting in a massive way Donald Trump. It was moments after the assassination attempt. You saw Elon Musk, who controls Twitter, putting up that photo of Donald Trump, on the platform. And one of the reasons it's noteworthy, Elon Musk is very, very close to J.D. Vance, as is Peter Thiel. Yeah. Just last week, I spoke to a major CEO in the AI space who said Elon Musk is laser beam focused on Donald Trump. Why? Because the next president, irrelevant of who it is going to control the fate of AI, which will change every bit of how we live. So to me, yes, we're talking about an Instagram play. We're talking about Amber Rose. When you have someone like Elon Musk today, make it public, he's giving this kind of money over the next 113 days. That is major. Could you have a shadow-type president in Elon Musk getting what he wants from a Donald Trump? That's something we should be thinking about.
Yeah, so if Elon Musk is going to put up, $150 or $200 million is what he's talking about there, that we know of, plus whatever he's already put in. And then you've got Peter Thiel, who spoke at the last Republican National Convention. Peter Thiel, an incredibly radical, incredibly controversial figure in American politics. I mean, to the point where, women shouldn't vote. We should form new countries based on floating shipping containers so that we aren't constrained by the terrible tyranny of an American constitution. I mean, like, Peter Thiel is as out there as you get. They gave him a speaking spot at the last convention.
Is his boy.
Exactly. Yeah. And Peter Thiel almost single-handedly created J.D. Vance as a political figure. He is the one who funded him becoming a senator. He tried to do it with Blake Masters in Arizona at the same time and with J.D. Vance in Ohio. He could not get there with Blake Masters. It didn't help that Blake Masters said he thought the most underappreciated thinker in American life was the Unabomber. That didn't help. But J.D. Vance was disciplined enough to not talk about his Unabomber beliefs, if he has them. But Peter Thiel is this guy. Peter Thiel created him in a lab. And so to have Peter Thiel own the vice president and to have Elon Musk own the president at a time when Donald Trump has personal financial liabilities in the hundreds of millions of dollars that are not going to go away because he is president. We are looking at a situation.
It's giving Harlan Crow. It's giving Harlan Crow.
But
I mean, if you think
about the amount of government contracts Elon Musk has through Starlink, not just with the U.S. government, governments around the world. He is so tangled, and now he could be in a position where he is sitting behind the scenes and getting exactly what he wants from a sitting president.
And this is why I'm saying Harlan Crow. I mean, if you think about the way that these billionaires are purchasing Supreme Court justices, purchasing policies that they want, purchasing the American government. And, Elon Musk as a person, to go back to the Ann Barillo, he is somebody who was sued by his own employees because they created such a racist environment inside of Tesla that people couldn't even stand to work there. There were parts of the factory that were called the slave quarters under him. He's somebody who said to Don Lemon, when Don Lemon briefly had this show that was on Next, that's now not on it anymore, that the way to get rid of racism is to stop talking about it. And if you just would shut up about it, it would go away. I mean, his own views, he has opened Twitter up to Nazis and some of the most extreme views, to the point where a lot of sort of reasonable people have gotten off of it because it's so toxic and ugly. And of course he would love to own a president. Of course Peter Thiel would love to own the vice president. What we're seeing is the purchasing of the American experiment, the purchasing of the American government, multiple branches of it, and it's happening right in front of our eyes.
They're in full panic mode, guys. They are freaking out because they're losing their former supporters, the Silicon Valley types. And of course, Joy Reid brings it back to race. What does this have to do with race, Joy? Sheesh. Pure propaganda as usual from MSDNC. Also, it wasn't a problem when Zuckerberg was doing the exact same thing for over a decade. Really? Billionaires on the left, like Soros, for example, have given hundreds of millions, billions to left-wing causes that saw our cities release violent criminals, that saw criminals being bailed out of jail. This is one of the dumbest discussions I've ever seen. And honestly, Joy, Elon can endorse whoever the heck he wants to endorse. It's crazy how people can actually be this unhinged. But what do you guys think? Like, share, subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment down below. I appreciate all the love and support. Consider joining the ARP family. It supports me, it supports the team, it supports the channel. It gives us the ability to do what we do on a day-to-day basis. I appreciate each person that has joined the ARP family thus far. God bless each and every one of you guys. Keep God first in your life, stay prayed up, and I'm gonna catch up with you all next time. Peace.